shit, I don't have tissues down here. Hold on. Be right back.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. I made a very haphazard breakfast this morning of like cinnamon toast and like bacon that was vaguely burnt. It was interesting. And then coffee. It was weird. It was probably too much sugar too.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. Right.
Actually, no, that doesn't. That's
Wait,
just your normal demeanor.
Oh. Well, I guess that's fair. I'm usually pretty hyper.
person.
I am a
I
hyper,
would never say that.
but
How
you would
dare
think
you
it.
imply that?
I am a very hyper person.
They're true feelings. You know it to be true.
You're the universe's karmic balance to my just lack of energy.
Hey, you know, equivalent exchange, baby.
Go ahead, girl. Give us nothing.
Like when you were in the womb, all my energies went over to America and got absorbed by a fetus in Texas.
I don't want to think about the logistics behind that.
It's like the spirit bomb being powered up, but you only absorbed it from one person, and it affected them forever.
Alright, I cannot type today. False attorney featuring. I usually don't wait this long to do the thing, but I'm just all over the place today.
I've definitely had days where I'm like, shit, I went live before posting even in my Discord. Like,
Yeah.
"Hey, everybody.
It's been one of those days.
It's been one of those days. And you gotta help.
I'm gonna go ahead and tag K. Just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm surprised there's not a Phoenix Wright character called Just in Case.
Oh my god, don't.
Yeah.
Game 7, they'll put that in there. Let's manifest it. I just typed in Phoenix into the GIF bar instead of Phoenix Wright, and so now, yeah, oops.
I'm very disappointed in you for saying GIF, by the way.
I know, I don't know where that came from.
no.
I literally never call it GIF. I don't know where that came from.
Begat. Moment.
Your inner deviant is popping out.
I guess, I don't know.
Oh god, I just thought of another
Uh-oh.
voice line to say.
Oh,
in
no.
Togami's voice.
Okay.
Doing your mom. Straight doing your mom.
Oh,
you know
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was
It's terrifying.
Fucking it's everywhere Ray William Johnson video, but it's Byakuya instead. Oh my god. And someone else fucking said do the rising tides thing that Ben Shapiro said, like
Oh, Jesus.
you know, people who live on the coast, let's say hypothetically that if the water levels were rising, why don't people that live on the coast just sell their houses?
And the houses too. Who? Ben? Aquaman?
Aquaman?
You guys know the joke, like the CAPTCHA comic that's like, hey, what are you doing? Lumberly actions. Have you guys seen that one? I always
the capture.
Yes! And every time I have to type in like lawyer stuff, I think lawyerly actions. And it's not the same. But like my brain triggers that for some reason. Like that's where it goes. I love that CAPTCHA comic so much. Also, there was the other one's like Dag Nambit Madeline or something like that. Okay, well, I guess we are about where we're gonna be here. I'm gonna go ahead and dive in. We're missing Kay, but maybe they'll pop in as we go.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Is Elizabeth needed for the early part, or is she needed for later?
If we only do the second part of the trial, she's not needed at all, but if we do the
get
third
to the-
part,
okay.
later.
That's what I told her. Was like, I think you're needed for the later part of it. So like, she's not staying. She's staying at a friend's house today. So like, I'm not. She's not in the room, so I can't just like run in and wake her up. So she was like, okay, I'll try to get up at like noon. And then I was like, okay, let's hope this works. So I told her, I was like, I don't think you need to be there for the first part, and I just wanted to make sure I wasn't lying to her. So wouldn't be the first time I accidentally lied.
You're
What?
lying. Oh, I was making another banger up with it. Why?
Oh shit, my fan's still on. Hold on, let me cut off that background noise. Oh, also, we didn't do introductions. I completely forgot. I just fucking skipped that. Hello everyone, I'm Kiki. I'm voicing Emma Sky.
I'm E-Man, who is currently sick, but I will still persevere and voice Phoenix Wright today.
Sam, I'll be voicing Edward.
I'm Migraine and I'm voicing Judge.
Hi, I'm Sven. I'll be voicing Detective Gumshoe.
Hey, I'm Josh. I'll be voicing Gent, I guess, until Kay maybe shows up. Hey.
Woo! Squad.
Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Vacant Lawn is having you run errands again.
Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here. She asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial.
Evidence law? Edgeworth was just talking about this the other day. I love that cover.
Yeah.
Little chicken
You must
mascot.
know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
Seems so.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
We've broken it before. I thought it was cool. We just ignored it.
The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message.
A message?
He said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book.
Him. Guess I'll need to give this book another thorough read. I'm glad he said another and not like first read.
Guess I should give this a look.
Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence.
That's where you're wrong, Detective.
Huh?
Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me?
Mr. Edgeworth.
The real trial today hasn't begun yet.
What? What else is there to do? Your credibility has been all but ruined because forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Sky found out she unwittingly caused Kamang's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal.
You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body.
I fucking knew it. I knew there was gonna be some shit like this.
Man's body was limp. That means the real killer is still out there. But didn't we fry?
What?
And we're gonna expose him. No matter what it takes. I thought we already fried Joe Dark. Like, didn't Joe Dark already get the electric chair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Detective Goodman. So, Joe Dark was killed before Detective Goodman was killed.
That's
'cause-
right,
Yeah,
that's
because
right.
Joe Dark was killed like a while back. Goodman was killed like 2 days ago.
That's right. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes, Your Honor.
the inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But,
Oh, perfect.
I thought I was the sick one today.
this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have
Struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witness? Manipulate, mansplain, male wife.
I didn't
my
say that. It's just, you see, everyone's been talking and, he said it, Phoenix said it.
Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution.
Solution?
That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses.
What? Well, there's no precedent for what you're proposing.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal.
Then it's settled. The, defense may now call forth the next witness.
Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, you will game over instantly.
You're just telling me I should call the parrot up.
Oh, I guess you don't game over instantly. I guess it only subtracts 2.
I forgot the real murderer. Ooh.
I do love the like possibilities that it gives you. Like some of these, like I don't want to. Hold on. Will it let me? I should have saved. I just like the idea of that. Like, yes, let's call the victim to the stand. Like,
It was a suicide!
yes. Like I think it's so funny that like it gives you this option, like all the options that it gives you.
Or you like say it is Lana Sky.
They're not doing seances yet.
True.
Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand.
Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything?
Well, as the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it.
As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True. Alright, Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch.
Your name and occupation, sir. I do this every
This is
fucking-
my favorite running joke.
Worthy, are you sure you want to do this?
Your name and occupation.
Oh, you want to play hardball, eh?
Even the judge is tired of this.
Please, Mr. Gant.
Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police.
Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony.
Righto, what's with the grim face?
First, let's clear up this SL9 incident.
Oh, you mean that time when Dana's sister murdered the prosecutor?
Why does he say it like that?
Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
Hey Lois, remember that time when Lana's sister murdered?
What the fuck?
Pina, you can't bring up that shit, Pina.
Jesus. Was
Excuse me.
not expecting that.
Fucking Lois, yeah. There are still some things unaccounted for.
Oh? Like what?
Like the role you played in all this.
Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that the police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Sure, take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to.
What? Is that true?
I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify.
Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks.
Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you.
Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony.
As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there.
Hi, Dark Lion. How's it going?
Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery.
Is that when Dark was arrested?
Oh, mood, Dark Lion. I think most of us also just woke up, so relatable.
I didn't.
Okay, Yosh. Well,
I'm in the same camp of not just waking up. That's because I'm dog sitting. My dog's like, hey, it's 8 a.m. Do you want to get up? I'm like, no.
oh god, yeah.
Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Stark bumped his head.
I see. Everything seems pretty clear cut.
The police chief has the right to refuse to testify. Then I better hit him hard and fast.
Yosh sounds like the voice from the Pacer fitness test back in school. LOL. I guess that's fair. I don't know if Yosh knows what that sounds like because he's from Germany, so...
I don't know.
You'll have to look it up later, because he's...
Is that the beat test?
I think it's the same thing?
where like you do 10 yards and then you beep and it adds like another 10 yards back and forth kind of thing each
I
beep.
think so.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
honest, I was homeschooled, so I'm only peripherally aware of.
It's the fitness band, the fitness gram pacer test is a
Yeah.
multi-aerobic. Yeah.
Dark
It's
Lion said yes.
basically yeah. It was it was like once a semester you would have to run to one end of the school, like the gym, and then make it there before the bell beeps. And
That's,
then
oof, that sounds terrifying.
yeah, it's because it's terrifying because you're running your heart out, and you're hoping you're gonna make it there before the note beeps. Because if you're not across the line by it beeps, your gym test ends right there.
Love that.
Yeah.
New career path for you, Yosh unlocked.
Perfect.
You claim you had something to do with the forgery, but I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example.
That's the blue badger you showed us earlier. I love that little fella.
A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. Man, we're just playing our hand here.
This one's where?
You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office.
Okay, have a good lunch. Thanks, Dark Lion.
Are concrete proof you also played a part in the illegal investigation.
Chief Gans, what's the meaning of this?
Oh. Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy.
You admitted to it then, that you were involved in the forgery.
Who? Me? Or do you mean you?
Me? Why would I have anything to do with that?
Well, you are the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence.
A very fair point.
Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't it right, writer?
However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation.
Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, you'll end up paying to work.
It's a fantastic line, by the way.
Yes, well, in the light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding the pieces of evidence found in your office. And their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene.
My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Doug was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way.
That's the most Phoenix Wright fucking argument ever. You can't prove it was.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol.
You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? And there will be consequences.
Oh.
Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again.
My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know.
Alright, Archie. In return, though.
I know. That place, right?
Excuse me? Huh? What are these guys, telepathic?
Secret Judge past backstory unlocked.
Parrot burgers.
It may or may not involve unethical, illegal animals being ground up into meat.
Okay.
Yummy meal!
Jesus.
I'd appreciate if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations.
Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that.
What?
Uh.
I'll have you know, back in the day I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped... Oh my god.
It's alright. What the fuck are you saying?
Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry on the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later.
Later? What are you talking about?
What else? I'm talking about when Raito's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they will prove his investigation was illegal.
Never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Phoenix, my guy, you broke into... Oh my god.
Yep, pretty much.
If only gloves existed, eh?
Mm.
Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation?
It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced.
Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient?
Right. The chief is talking about a possibility. So long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time.
Tell me something I don't know.
Now, Raito. Think about it.
Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this.
Oh? I wasn't aware. What is this benefit?
That would, of course, be the position you have, Chief of Police.
Oh,
The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That itself is sufficient motive.
Oh, that's a good one.
Huh?
You really think I'm that incompetent?
What do you mean?
Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little.
That's some villain monologuing. Is that true, Edgeworth?
Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway.
Yeah.
Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at.
oh
So
my.
that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else.
Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now. Archie, would you mind if I change my testimony a little?
By all means, please do.
Nothing in it for you?
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you better think again.
You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone.
Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised.
You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though.
Oh, that's a good one, Worthy.
Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Point out accomplice. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But what if it would benefit you? But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone.
Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. You are a fucking idiot.
It's not what I mean.
Very well then. Who is the person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky.
Mike and Yoshi!
Defendant?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Mark. I got excited. Hello, Mike. Hello, Yoshi. Oh, and Tactician's back. Hello. Everybody joined all at once. Hello. Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Byakuya welcomes you.
Whoa.
I'm kidding. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I was drinking.
Oh shit, sorry. I believe it's quite obvious in the light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? As for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit.
Tactician said, "What the hell? Byakuya wouldn't welcome anyone. You're not wrong, Tactician."
Fuck the canon. I'm funny.
True.
Self-profits? What do you mean?
After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant.
But how would he profit from all of this?
He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance,
Oh my
he puts his hand up his butt? I mean, he plays with puppets?
god. Why does that sound like something you would say anyways, Mark?
Because how else do you use puppets?
Well, not
That's how
that.
you use puppets.
No, you
You
would
can
take
do it
something-
from the top too.
You would take a metaphor and take it literally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it sounds like. Like we would be discussing something serious, and you'd be like, "He plays with puppets."
It's the ones from the top. You'd say marionettes. You don't, when it's puppets, it's the ones with the hand up their ass.
Okay.
Hey! Hello, Kay. Welcome,
Kay.
welcome.
Kay,
You
Oh,
to
shit,
put this
it-
in
Great-
something
great.
or other before I got interrupted.
I'm so sorry. I hit the button, and then it Phoenix interrupted you, so I have no idea what the judge just said. I assumed it was gonna stop. My
You
bad.
meant puppet as in someone who is doing your bidding. Never mind.
Thank you.
The hand bidding.
Zahando.
Kay wrote, they're still in bed. Hold
Oh.
on.
Okay.
I'll get the line out. Admit it, Chief. All right, then we can.
Just vibe.
Oh God, I'll buy Kay some time by saying in the Byakuya voice.
Oh, Yoshi, you can ask right now.
Slinky.
We're waiting.
Yeah. Go ahead, Yoshi. Yeah. Yeah. No, we're. I'm doing great at least.
I'm doing alright.
I'm very sick.
I'm doing better than I was earlier.
I feel like Mark and Eamon are going like proportionally like the fact that Eamon just said I am very sick, it made it sound like he's way worse than he was at the start, and then Mark is like slowly getting better. It's like proportional.
Give me back my health, Mark.
Much like how this all my childhood energy, I'm stealing Eman's health.
Oh my god.
Also,
I
is
can't
there
do
no
this.
text log? I feel visual novels should have that. Yeah, for some reason, Phoenix Wright is like the one that does not have a text log. I don't know why.
I know the later ones have a text log.
Oh,
but
they
this one,
do later.
no.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's to do with Capcom's weird insistence that it's not a visual novel.
Oh, maybe that
But
could
it do
be.
be kind of.
It do
But it's
be.
an adventure game.
Oh.
Oh.
That's okay. The visual novel that I'm playing right now, it doesn't have a text log, but so it's on the Switch. If you press the the ZL button, it'll like rewind a text box or two, so you get to like reread it, which I kind of like, sort of, but I also dislike. It took a little bit to get used to, but I do appreciate that I can just go back one or two, and I don't have to like open up a big long document and figure out where the heck I am.
Is that
Yeah.
I'll know Carter or whatever it's called, the 4 rhythm thing?
I'm sorry, what?
What one is it you're playing?
I'm playing Crimson Spires.
Oh, okay, because I played one before on the Switch that was like that, and I kept pressing the button by accident.
Oops.
Hey, speaking of vision novels, who's everyone's favorite original protagonist? Mine is Ike.
Yosh!
I fight for my friends.
Yosh, are you like bitter about that answer?
Kinda.
You sound like it.
Wait, did someone actually say that as their answer?
Yes. So I'm having Yosh go through that visual novel research survey that I did, and he's like graphing and putting the results in a thing, and so he's been like messaging me like as he's. Everything okay?
It's like
Yep.
you can't spell over. It's all good.
Yeah. So he's been going through the answers, and one of the questions was, who is your favorite visual novel protagonist? And a lot of people had very normal answers, like Makoto Naegi and Junpei from 999, and then... yeah.
Someone said Ike from Path of Radiance.
Yeah.
I feel like if you like say Makoto, like of all the 3 protagonists in DR, fucking well, actually no, there's multiple, like because I was excluding Ultra Spare Girls, but fucking.
I don't think Makoto actually got...
Makoto's like stale bread.
I don't think Makoto actually got very many votes. I just couldn't think of anybody off the top of my head. I can never remember what the other protagonist names are.
And Makoto was actually number 1 for worst VN protagonist.
Yeah. I just couldn't think of anything else, so yeah. I mean, I like him, but he is very bland, so...
I'm so
Yeah, and
normal.
one vote less than Makoto Nagi was bland ones.
Yeah, yes.
Did Shirogane Takaru get any votes?
Wait, I can check.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
remember. off the top
we
of my
can
head.
probably go on. I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah,
how it
and-
You have
Yeah.
the ready, Kay?
Yep.
Awesome.
hello.
Cool. Yeah, we'll be sharing the results later too, so you guys are welcome to look through it.
You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her.
Right, oh my boy, you have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something.
What?
Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing?
Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant.
I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Unless...
Yoshi said, Ike is a good visual novel protagonist. He just needs to be in a visual novel.
that is
I mean,
also-
I have a solution for that. Someone submitted Path of Radiance as their favorite visual novel.
That is also what happened in this incident.
I mean, there are strategy RPG visual novels, but Fire Emblem is not one of them. Like,
Yeah.
Luto Aramuno is a visual novel strategy RPG, but yeah. This incident, which one would that be?
Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her.
Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
Just what do you mean?
What he means, Your Honor, my goodness, is that Chief Gann is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement.
Order, order, order. I said order. Mr. Wright, you can't be serious.
Huh?
This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder, that's impossible.
The entire case is a pocket dimension, Your Honor. I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language.
Wow! It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now.
Looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this.
You prove this, Mr. Wright, that the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder?
Good question.
Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. And what is a man?
Secrets.
Yep.
A pile of secrets.
The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. This is the ID card list.
Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There is one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 777777777.
Sorry, but there's way too many sevens in what just came out of your mouth, you know? There's only 7 of them.
Right.
And there's no way you could prove that's the number on my card.
It's your number.
What? How do you know that?
Oh my god, he's gonna confess to breaking. Oh my god, he is.
No, you.
You see, Your Honor, the safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code.
7 digits. You don't mean.
I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7777777.
No.
No. Oh, right. Strike a 7 from the record, Your Honor. Okay. The same as the remaining IG card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime.
So before we get to the illegal entry of evidence here,
Yeah.
do you mind explaining how a code on my safe is relevant at all to this case?
It's your safe, Stinky.
Why is this invisible evidence? Wait, what the hell?
It's legal hellscape.
It's a legal hellscape. And we just, Phoenix just like took the fucking evidence law book and said, fuck it, and just didn't read
We
it.
don't even have Maya here to
I mean,
encourage us to commit crimes.
We should probably
Did you
read
pick the
the
bar?
evidence law at some point.
Oh.
Did you pick the
Check out
bar?
the book.
Are you sure?
One parrot burger is my order, Judge. Thanks for submitting that, Yoshi.
That's the whole book.
That's the
Yep.
entire book.
It's a pop-up book. It's a fucking...
That's why Gumshoe had it. Like Lana had it, but she gave Gumshoe the like abridged version and was like, "Here, you can understand this, and Phoenix can understand this. This is enough."
Hey, pal, check this out. It's a super cool book. Fucking, it's got pictures in it. That book looks thick, dude. What the fuck?
I know.
Order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say?
It's not relevant. It's a code on my safe. I'm stuck on this. I'm sorry. Hold on, give me a minute. Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations.
That is very true.
And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law.
Wow, what a first!
But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card.
Chief Gant, so you admit it. You went to the evidence room on the day of the crime.
What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want.
I mean, there
Tell
could be a
me.
difference. You don't want to piss in the evidence room.
When you entered the room, were you alone?
I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room.
Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he?
Of course not. He doesn't watch me piss. He doesn't watch me collect
Oh.
evidence. Why would he be?
You're holding these two rooms
This
very
game-
close.
this
What,
game-
Is it like right next to the evidence room?
You
know,
know, you know when you accidentally go into the wrong room at work.
You know that picture of a kid dressed up as Batman and he's crying in bed with Mom found the piss
Oh,
drawer?
you fucking found the bomb.
Blue Beaver found the piss drawer.
I hadn't seen him in days.
Blue Badger even, sorry.
You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant. I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. Please zip up your pants. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor.
Oh my
This trial's purpose is to determine the truth.
It literally isn't.
If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting?
Hi, Fatal.
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to
Oh,
meet
jeez.
Chief Gant on the day of the crime.
I don't remember what this looks. Is this? Yes. Okay. It's been so long since we've messed with this. I forgot what it looked like.
I'd just like to mention that we have like 4 pages of evidence now.
True.
Oh my god. Detective
Do we
Goodman
have
lost
4
his...
pages? Nothing.
Wait,
Ignore
no,
me.
4 pages of... No, you're saying 4 pages of evidence, or...
Yeah, 4 pages of evidence, 4 pages of something related to bathroom stuff. I don't know. Ignore me.
It.
4 pages, 4 soap dispensers, 4 stalls... 4.
Have we used half of this evidence? I mean, I guess Yosh. Oop, that's. We've used it all in some form or another across, whether it's talking to a person or talking in court. I think we've used pretty much all of it at some point or another.
Man, remember the other cases when it's like, I guess I don't need this evidence anymore, and we cleared it
Toss.
out?
Yeah.
Okay. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime.
Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it.
So Detective Goodman filed out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police.
Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if you filed it.
He filed it. How do you know, I asked? because he needed to enter that evidence room that day.
He needed to.
Yes, to transfer the evidence out.
Oh, I thought he just needed a piss.
Damn it, Judge. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room.
I accompanied him?
Yes. There's no other way the murderer of Detective Goodman could have entered the room.
Hold on. Let me guess what you're gonna say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman.
Put that down. Write that down.
Oh my God,
Can
write
we use,
that
can
down,
we
right?
use that as evidence?
Exactly.
But wait, there's more. The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort.
Sorry, but that's not possible.
Oh?
According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. Holy shit!
Holy shit! Wait. I want to give. Wait, okay, if you're up to it, I want to hear that, like, no! I want to hear that crying. That was
Yeah.
good.
Well, hold on. Hey, maybe later. Let me wake
Oh,
up.
that's fair. Oh, that's fair. Okay. I just didn't want you to, because that was a really cool moment. I didn't want.
Yeah, I don't want
get
to steal it from you.
Pikachu just used
Didn't want to
one
steal
ball.
their thunder.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. I might do it just to react to that pun. Hold on. No!
Oh, excellent.
Nice.
There.
Very good. Oh shit! Drink some water after that one.
Oh yeah, for real.
I do not have water.
Uh
no!
You can't. You didn't.
The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit a murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course.
Yoshi redeemed hydrate everyone, so everybody make sure you get a drink of water.
Alright, give me a second.
Do we have to make it like audible?
It would
No.
be preferable if you didn't.
No.
It's an honor system thing.
yeah, I'm
It
gonna
is an
say-
honor system.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there's actually a requirement that it is not audible if possible.
Audible.com.
Thank you,
Hey.
Yoshi.
People might not believe that we drank water.
Yummy water.
Oh,
How about that? How about that?
I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone heard me, so
no.
gulp, 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 yum.
Oh,
Yummy.
Yummy meal!
Oh.
Okay, everybody get water?
Yeah.
Kay probably left to go get water, so... Because they said they didn't have water with them, so...
Mhm.
I'll wait for them to get back.
I was looking for the hydrate thing. I thought it was just a specific one you had already. I didn't realize it was
Oh.
a message that was thingied up.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's slightly different. I think I do have... Do I have a hydrate? No, I don't.
No?
I don't think I did that because I don't have my camera on, so I was like, I feel like people wouldn't, like, trust that, you know, so...
That's why you gotta make it audible.
Are you back, Kay? Was that Kay? Or was that
Yes,
somebody else?
that's
Okay.
Kay. That is
I
Kay.
thought so. Because I know you said you didn't have water, so I want to make sure that you had time to go get it, so...
To dispose of the
Mhm.
body, of course.
Beautiful.
You're forgetting, Mr. Wright,
Jesus, I
that
always
the
forget how
victim's
loud.
body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot.
Yoshi said he trusts us all. Thank you, Yoshi.
How did he manage to move it there?
I was at the police department the entire day, you know?
And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony.
Everyone except me, it seems. still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal.
Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you! Take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so.
Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we needed to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was a useless clue that was just taking up space.
Most of them are.
How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. Do it now.
Badge!
Don't
I-
fucking
I
tell
like-
me.
I like to think that like he's just there, extremely just looking through all his pockets, putting everything out on the table, being like, which one? When he's doing this.
Josephine, not the phone, not the note, not the blue patcher. This thing. This is how Detective Goodman. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body.
Parking stop, Miles Edgeworth.
You mean
The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, Mr. Edgeworth's so famous. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car.
So now, Prosecutor Edgeworth is my accomplice. Is that
you
what
mean
you're saying?
I carried the victim's body?
I feel like Edgeworth would drive a Mini Cooper.
Phoenix, what are you fucking saying? Precisely so. What is this fucking song of damn?
But wait, even you know. I didn't plan on returning to my office after the ceremony finished that day.
But you did return. Tell me why.
Tell me why.
I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Oh my god, you were an unintentional camel bringing
Oh my
it back.
god.
So you see, what you're really taking to the prosecutor's office wasn't the screwdriver,
It was the mojito.
but the victim's body in your trunk.
Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Yes, unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Sky. My inflection was off there.
Order. What's going on here? Where's my parrot burgers? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations?
Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite.
It's a photo of the body being taken from the trunk.
Chief Gant, please say something.
Something. I believe your time's up.
My time's up.
Sorry, Rhino, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're gonna make it in time for the early bird special.
But the cross-examination isn't finished yet.
Wasn't much of a cross-examination either. He didn't pause for answers. You just spouted off bullshit, you know? Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that, right now.
What? That's not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So you're going to just run away after all this?
Run away. Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now.
Well,
You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, show your proof and get it over with.
I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current Chief of Police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright,
Your Honor?
do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skyder dispose of the body.
Do I have any concrete proof? There's no showing evidence of I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence.
Huh. See, Edgy?
In that case, this court is forced to penalise you for your allegations against the Chief.
What?
Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Righto. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Edgy, I'll leave the rest to you. And then I faded away like I never existed.
I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency.
Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her.
Mr. Edgeworth, you know she doesn't actually exist, right?
You would be the one to take a metaphor literally.
I'll take your face literally.
Jesus.
Okay. There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony.
He knows the truth. Another witness.
In absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony.
But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify.
There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Is it me?
Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today.
Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist?
She may not be willing to tell the truth. We can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth
Beacons.
Let's watch the video again.
The defendant?
She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 on February 21st. Her task, to dispose of the victim's body.
Yoshi said, yay!
In accordance with a certain someone's orders.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Prosecution has no objections, Your Honor.
Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day.
Jesus Christ.
In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now...
Is this
That's
K?
scanned.
I was about to say, I think this is K.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
Oh. Chief Gant, I thought you were dead or going to eat.
Listen good, Lana.
Talking to Lana.
I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences.
He's so subtle with his threats, isn't he?
Hmm.
That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder.
This isn't good.
Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I'm gonna die again. Goodbye.
Okay. If there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess.
I'll call the jungle gym.
Damn
Why
it,
is
I wanted
Gantz
one of
so
the monkey bars.
orange?
Looks like we managed to stay in the game.
Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth.
That chief. He's something else, eh, pals?
Dr. Gumshoe.
I'm not a detective anymore.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Ah, don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office.
What?
My office? I'm honored.
Sure. I'll take the place of that cop not a girl you used to work with.
What do you mean? Maya?
Because he has so many other ones that he worked with.
Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gang's done it again. How's it he always gets the upper hand?
Did he just hire himself? Yeah, I think so, Yoshi.
Not Barry has the right to refuse to testify.
Settle down, right?
Bark, 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 bark.
Remember what the judge said.
Which time? But Chief... Oh, yes. But Chief, that's not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Did someone play a harp effect in that flashback scene?
Risks. What did he mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true.
I think I know who. I think this is me.
Lana.
Oh, is it Lana?
I think it's Emma.
I was gonna say I think it's Emma, but I don't know.
Oh.
We'll see. If not, we'll figure it out.
The exclamation point makes it seem like Emma.
That's valid.
It seems
True.
like it should be something that Lana would know.
Also, that too. It's confusing. They're siblings. Everything gets blurred together. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? It was Emma. Okay.
Emma, are you okay?
Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah, now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man, and she did it all just to protect me.
Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
What do you mean?
What do you think I mean, to follow Chief Gant's orders? She must have shut herself up deep inside, to force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do.
That must be why she became so cold.
It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
We live in a society.
Gumshoe with the Joker face paint.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh god. Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see.
Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act.
Gumshoe, stop reading
Emma.
the script.
Emma, why
I'm
don't you
sorry,
wait?
Belle.
No, I'm going with you.
Mm.
I want to be there when Lana tells the truth.
Let's go, right? It's time to end this.
Dear God, I hope it is.
I'm glad this was the third time today.
Do we continue?
Yeah, do we have the time? I doubt we're gonna have enough
I doubt
time.
we'll get through all of it, but we can get through some of it.
Yeah, I said to do a part of this today and then the rest next time.
Yeah.
Because
That's
no,
right.
we wouldn't get through this in 2 hours either. So.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. You said you were watching a no commentary Let's Play that took longer.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Uh-oh.
We'll get through what we can.
Now then. Will the defenders, Miss Lana Sky, please take to the stand?
Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years.
Give me just a second, sorry.
I love how Edgeworth just established who Lana is and didn't ask for her name or occupation.
Well,
Please provide this court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you're under oath. We want to hear the truth. Not that that means anything in this court.
Of course, the truth.
Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister.
Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant.
Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant.
I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth behind this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
Are you sure about this testimony?
Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure.
But Lana!
If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning.
Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me.
What if she's telling the truth?
She's not. How did you read his mind?
Oh my god.
you did that!
It was written on my
Tell
damn
him that.
face.
Oh my god.
I have really good intuition.
I'm actually an
I like to
empath.
I like to think Phoenix just thinks aloud nonstop. He's never had
Oh, absolutely.
he's never thought inside his own brain. Everything comes out.
That's
Once-
true.
once
Always
Gant
says the
once-
quiet part out loud.
In
Once-
Great
once-
in Great as Attorney, Naruto also like has these thought texts, and Susato comments on it like, "Hey, you're mumbling pretty loudly there."
Oh
then
no.
it's
Oh
like
my
Oh my
maybe,
god.
maybe it's
So the blue text is actually mumbling.
Oh my
I-
god.
And then she was like, maybe it's part of the Naruto family that they
Oh my
think
God.
loudly. Something along those lines.
Oh my god. She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony.
Oh. Yeah, this is no time to start second guessing myself.
The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Ba, 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 ba. Okay.
They did this all by yourself?
Yes.
Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene?
It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body.
What? Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate quote-unquote accident.
That's only a situation you dreamed was possible.
What?
The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement.
You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark?
Something like that.
If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife.
Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
It's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies.
It's all just to protect me.
So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to.
Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife and planted it inside the wound, then moved the body.
You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the
Oh,
victim's wound?
read fast.
But why? Why would you do that?
It skipped on its own again.
You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders.
Hmm.
I didn't think that bad. But maybe I had to ask for the sake of the others. I thought a question was like, how's my head?
Like
When you showed... Yeah. Oh, damn it. Not again. When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body?
It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk.
But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it in there?
The reason for that is simple.
Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body.
The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan.
Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that quote-unquote crime 2 years ago to protect your sister.
You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered?
If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony.
A contradiction in my testimony?
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
Yes, that's right.
Do you have a problem with that?
A simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not have yet been broken before he died. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar.
Order! Order!
Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here.
Something critical?
Chief Prosecutor, it seems as you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed.
What?
Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth.
Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony.
I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood?
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time.
She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
So the jar was already broken?
It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier.
It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case.
Damn. Not as feeble as the judge's judgment.
You are an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces?
Normally I would have,
Okay.
but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out.
Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of.
What?
We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe.
In the chief's safe? But how?
Breaking and entering. I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about the final piece. There was still blood on it.
But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece of and wiped the blood off them.
Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you.
Chief Gant. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece?
I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective.
It may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Can you believe that?
Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken.
Oh, that.
There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
I hope you're not implying that this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there, why would he break the jar?
The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? Why your boyfriend hasn't answered?
Oh my god, he looks so distraught.
Wait, I'm not the one on trial here.
Oh, wait.
Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called?
Fabrication of evidence.
Bum, bum, bum.
Why would Chief Gant do that?
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear?
What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Sky became the chief's puppet.
Oh my god.
No, I did it on my own.
Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake.
No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients.
Owl lies? Imagine that, coming from my own client.
I guess you do seem like the type who likes to twist the truth.
Wow.
What? Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap?
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright?
Lana, maybe right after all.
What do you mean, Wright?
So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright?
I'm gonna ignore that. Miss Sky, please testify once more.
But
If evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie.
But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
Miss Sky, if you will.
I can't.
There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth.
Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw.
Alright, the witness may testify once more, for the final time.
The final time.
And definitely
Final-
not like 8 more testimonies after this.
No,
Don't worry,
yep,
guys.
no. It's fine.
Totally.
No,
Yeah,
okay.
that never
When I
happens, doesn't it?
arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
Yoshi said 8 more testimonies? How many of those 8 include the video?
Oh my
7.
god.
Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor sword.
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof.
Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
What? To me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
I remember receiving a picture like that.
Is it gonna be written on the back of another fucking receipt?
Oh my
Or
god.
it's hiding in the fucking.
It's in the evidence log.
Oh my god.
Lana must have
But it's just
known.
one page.
Yeah, for real. That's the reason it's only 1 page is because literally everything else in there is evidence for some case
Yep.
or another.
Yep.
It's been used throughout all these trials. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture.
I remember receiving any pictures from Lana.
Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. Oh, shit. Oh. I thought I presented that. I was like, God damn it.
Use the Nintendo DS touchscreen.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yep. Rotate.
The bird's
no,
the
no.
evidence. The
I was
bird.
about to say.
That's it.
Everyone.
Hold on, I wonder if I can do the voice. Yo, bird up. Dun, dun, dun. I can still do it. Sweet.
Oh. Can I?
This is beautiful to watch, by the way.
I'm trying,
Absolutely.
man.
It would be much easier if you were using the full power of the Nintendo DS touchscreen.
For real. Oh, is that? Shit. Hold on.
It was yellow.
I know. Well, it was yellow like.
Just select a page. One of those pages.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow,
I thought
that's,
I thought it was gonna be a little
Cool.
different. It just works so
No.
different. It just works so differently on the computer than it does on the DS. That I was
can't believe
I was
it.
already.
The evidence logbook actually is a picture book. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
I-
god.
oh my god. God damn it. That was all bad. Hey, there's a picture here. Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Oh my, this is the actual crime scene.
No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had arranged everything.
Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest! Could that be...
Floppy found inside Chief Gant's safe. What's this?
This is a handprint, isn't it?
Oh.
That cloth! It had fingerprints on it! Whosever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer.
What? But those fingerprints... They're yours, Emma!
Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright?
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
Frostbite.
Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. How many fucking times have I said that today?
Oh shit.
This is the most orange motherfucker I've ever seen.
I asked earlier, why is he orange? The thing is, like, there's only one defense stand, so he must have, like, sprinted over and just shoved her out of it.
He fucking
He
Trump to
just-
run for his money.
Sprinted over, jumped up, and full force sidekicked her in the side.
Drop kicked her.
Maybe he's actually really maybe he's really short actually and he's standing on her shoulder.
Oh my
Hi,
God.
Growl! Thank you for the
I
15
don't wanna
bits.
think about that.
Come now, G.
Hope you're doing well, Growl.
This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen.
Chief Gantz.
What, now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense.
It's good. I'm glad to hear. I'm doing well, Growl. Thank you.
I'm afraid it's too late for that.
What?
You already declined to testify. That means you've forfeited your right to make statements of any sort.
It's supposed to be that risk we were talking about earlier.
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck.
Jesus Christ.
So what, do you think I'm worried?
Oh,
Sorry to disappoint you. But I don't need to make any statements.
What do you mean?
The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence.
Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence?
Nope, I sure don't. But someone does.
Someone...
So, what's your excuse, Rado?
he.
Why have you been keeping quiet about it?
Like,
You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death.
Gant is an Oompa Loompa.
Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt.
Is this true, Mr. Wright?
If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer.
Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you'll be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries.
What do I do now? Better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
What? You lie.
Chief Gant?
You opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
Mr. Wright,
So,
why don't you show them?
So, Phoenix is currently committing perjury?
Yeah.
We found it together. Actually,
Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it.
What are you talking about, Chief Gant?
Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? Looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason.
You mean you had this in your safe?
What? That means you, the Chief of Police, have a fetish for dead people's
oh
clothes?
god.
What the hell? Literally anything else could have been said there.
I do like to think that Gant was like, yes, I get the direction we're going, and that's a left turn. What the fuck, Judge?
This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. See, it fits.
I mean, it kind of does.
Damon Gant is not a necrophile. Oh my god. Stop it. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto.
Oh,
Well, can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. You literally cannot do that.
You cannot
I'm
do this.
upset. This case upsets me.
You mean you admit to it?
I was the first person to arrive at the. What are you doing?
oh my god, Gant's testifying.
Why? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. You.
What?
So you really
are
were
an infuriating
manipulating her?
man.
True.
I knew Lana. I made it look like the blame lay with her sister. That when she saw the scene, she would ask for my aid.
So you assisted Miss Sky.
I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room.
And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted.
When I tampered with the crime scene, I had 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you.
Piece of evidence. You mean those items in your safe?
But why?
Mark your thing in chat. Welcome to Phoenix Wright, the game where everything's made up and the laws don't matter. True.
Oh my god.
To make sure she would never reveal the origins of my... That's a dumb joke, never mind. For insurance, of course.
Insurance?
I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I always have to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed.
Oh.
You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence?
What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make the police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hit the most legible part of Emma's name. Didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces.
But if you fabricated all of the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar, too?
Ho ho ho. Looks like it's Christmas for me. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance.
You mean that piece of cloth?
Come on, Rido. Cough it up already. I know you have it.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
You admit it to you admit to it then, Chief Game. I'm nervous. Judge, not you too.
You're the murderer! You're the murderer!
Judge, you're scaring me. Fucking the judge leaning over, like stretching to make getting Phoenix Wright's face and be like,
Oh my god.
What?
Judge.
why is the judge an alien now?
Told me to yell later.
Oh no. As you were hiding the cloth, you cut off the victim's vest in your safe.
Oh, Jesus, I keep doing this.
Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that. Being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present.
Foolish move, Rido. You should have shown it then before it was too late.
It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. If I don't mess up here, my victory is mine. Oh my god, oh, okay, we're showing. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now.
Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence.
That would
The
be your...
evidence-
Go on.
What you saying?
I was gonna make a... That would be your mother, and then throw photos across. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest?
Oh, yes. At last you finally brought it out into the open.
There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather, there must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean...
It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence.
You're as slow on the uptick as ever, Worthy.
What?
Think about it. Rido had all the time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be?
You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that?
Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they?
Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. What?
I refuse to
predicted.
believe that you actually
What do you
predicted
mean
any of
as
this.
predicted?
I refuse to believe this.
Oh my god.
Emma, Sky.
What? They're mine.
I'm sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me?
Oh. You're really something, Righto. You know this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me.
Fatal said, Right's bringing out the 4D chess out here.
So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
How could you, you monster?
Miss Sky.
You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't.
Miss Sky, it's not over yet.
What?
I said this trial isn't over yet. Oh my god.
But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career, too. You purposely concealed this piece of evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy.
We know how much he likes to show that off.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you gonna tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer?
Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up.
Oh? And what's that?
Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall?
Oh my god.
What?
Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask?
It was Emma Sky, wasn't it?
I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction.
What? A contradiction? What's this fool battling about?
Like we're gonna get called a fool till game 2, but I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is.
Dun, dun, dun. Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict?
Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth.
And what exactly is this supposed to be?
This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out?
Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though.
Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. Oh my god, Phoenix, Christ. His lungs no doubt were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth.
But that piece of cloth. Wait, there's no blood on it.
Since
Oh,
Emma
I see.
Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. It's a spear, dumbass.
This is nonsense.
Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside.
He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out.
If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Sky, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armor's sword?
Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue and make Lana believe her sister did it.
Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved you were the actual murderer.
No!
It's finally all over. You're gonna eat those words in like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's close, right? You almost had me.
Huh?
Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute all your allegations.
Looks like red white in that Sprite.
Yeah.
What do you mean you refute his allegations?
See, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. That I hate.
God.
Order, order. What nonsense is this?
Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Reggie? Earlier, Colorado here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Rado? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you?
Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence.
At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence.
But that's not fair!
Oh, do you actually think you could best me in court? Looks like the last laugh's on you, son.
I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal.
Well, Mr. Wright?
It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived.
You had a plan?
Yeah, I have a plan.
I like to think that he said that out loud and Edgeworth actually said that out loud. I was like, wait, you had a plan?
Mr. Wright, do you admit to it that you actually had a plan? That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth?
I admit I refused to present it at one point.
So the evidence is illegal.
No, it isn't, Mr. Gant.
Huh?
It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't.
What do you mean you couldn't?
There are certain procedures involved. Oh, my voice cracked. There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence.
No, Udgy, don't listen to his lies. Nothing but a coward, you can't honestly believe.
There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not?
7 more testimonies about this.
Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, what do you then do so now?
Check out.
Do you,
check out
do you think now would be a good time to stop for today?
Probably
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
We could.
I know there isn't much left, like it's not as long as I thought we would tackle this because we didn't really talk about anything else but the game. But we probably still wouldn't be able to finish it today.
Okay, do you
So
want me
this-
to present it and then save, or?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that then.
This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. And then we all froze.
Whew.
Yeah, because after this, there's
We're
no
not
really good
suspended in
stopping
time.
point, in my opinion.
Okay, well that works then. I mean, we got through a good chunk of it today.
Holy shit.
So
Yeah.
Trial ladder 2. Holy fuck.
yeah.
Oh my
My God.
Well, thank you guys for joining me today.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm very happy with where that went. So good job
Jesus
on us.
batshit.
Yeah, we went through a lot today.
Yeah, I feel like we
Well-
discovered a lot about people. Like we discovered that Phoenix Wright is scared of weird voices, and that Gant shouldn't be allowed near dead people.
And that Phoenix Wright had a plan,
Yeah.
We went through a lot.
For
which is the
once.
biggest scandal.
Yeah.
We went through a lot, both in the game and mentally.
For real.
Phoenix has a plan.
No, you stop it.
I love that line you did, Mark. Do you admit it, that you had a plan?
Yeah, of course, Yoshi. Thank you for stopping by. I'm so glad you enjoyed.
Thanks,
Fatal said,
Yoshi.
"Aw, what a tease." I know, Fatal. You'll just have to come back next time to.
How do you think we felt last week?
Oh yeah. For real. Just a
I
heads
have a
up, there will
plan.
be no Ace Attorney stream next week because Elizabeth and I are out of town for a wedding. So unfortunately, this is a real cliffhanger here, because it's gonna be at least another week before we can get to this. So apologies for that. But
Next time we stream this, we are going to finish it.
yes,
So.
exactly. So, and then hopefully, if everything goes right, we'll get to start the second one on Halloween, which is the anniversary of when we started this stream. So let's hope
Shit.
that goes through.
Yeah, we all
Crazy
planned
stuff.
that 1 year ahead. Like last year when we started doing this, we were like, yep, next year Halloween we're gonna
Yep.
start the second one.
Totally, the plan the whole time. Totally. Just like Phoenix Wright, we had a plan.
We had a plan.
Woo!
Not a plan.
Stop it, alien!
Yes, Yoshi. We look forward to seeing you as well in 2 weeks.
Yep.
In the meantime, I am going to raid my friend May, who is actually in an indirect way. I've told the story before, but is in an indirect way the reason this all happened, because if I hadn't met May, I would never have met Yosh, and then therefore we would never have met like the rest of these people. So we're gonna raid him. He's actually streaming the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles right now. So if you're an Ace Attorney fan, this will be great for you guys. So thank you so much for stopping by, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks or in the Discord. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
That was fun.
Mm. Oh, we need to.
Of course.
Mhm.